I have traversed the hell known as working retail during Christmas. Yet again, I have gone past the 9 levels of hell into the realm of Cthulhu himself, and won and brought back a prize, the mighty Necronomicon, with its nice blood-stained pages. Yes, as proof that I have survived yet again my journey into the depths of hell that all of you out there love to indulge upon us that work retail during Christmas. Dear Lord. Anyways, but because of that, I did miss. I was not able to watch live, but I was able to watch it today. After I did the Christmas festivities with my parents, or my family, I should actually say. So I was able to watch it finally. So here we go with some thoughts. I won't go too in depth. I'm just going to kind of go over my overall feel of the show, and then I'm going to have some other little things to say. But overall, I thought the show was excellent. It was. I wouldn't say it was as good as Death Before Dishonor, but I definitely think this was probably the second best iPPV this year. Of course, this is the kind of year anniversary coming from the first iPPV, which was, you know, not the big roaring success I think some of us had thought, but they have learned, and I think this was definitely what many of us had hoped for, and was a very good show. And I didn't watch it live, so I can't comment on that, but from what I read, it didn't sound like too many people had too many problems, and I didn't have nearly any problems watching it later. I would say that if you watched this show and you enjoyed it, definitely, you know, when you didn't pay for it, you definitely should buy the DVD, give Go Fight Live some money, just go to the site, it's $15, do the whole bit. You know, Ring of Honor put on an excellent show. I think I haven't heard anyone that watched it that didn't think it was at least a great show. So, I'm sure I will be proven wrong soon in the comment section, but we'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, so we start off with a very good opener. Rhett, Titus, Kenny King, the All Night Express taking on Adam Cole and Colt Riley. Pretty good stuff. You know, was a good, fun, solid opener. Got the crowd hot and did its job. Saw some really good moves. Was definitely a kind of, in a way, a showcase for Kenny King and Rhett Titus. So there you go. But didn't make Adam Cole or Kyle O'Reilly look bad either. So that was good. Then we had Colt Cabana versus TJ Perkins. This was okay, I would say. They went out there, did their stuff. Was much more of a Colt Cabana match with odd moves and some nice, funny spots. A nice change of pace, I would say, from the opener. So that was good as well. Then we got the women's match, which wasn't quite as good as I had hoped. Sara Del Rey, Serena Deeb taking on Awesome Kong, or Amazing Kong, and Daizee. I loved how this was booked, because they definitely booked, you know, Kong was definitely like the big babyface powerhouse who, as soon as she was going to get in there, you knew everything was going to hit the fans for the heels. They booked this very well, very old school. I really like that. Still wish it could have been a little better, but it was what it was. Still better than, you know, 90% of the women's matches you see in WWE or TNA. So there you go. Then we got Eddie Edwards versus Sonjay Dutt. Sonjay Dutt was replacing Kenny Omega. Did an okay job. It was still a good match. Wasn't as great as I think an Omega-Kenny Edwards match could have been. I think if Kenny Omega had been on this show, this show would have been an amazing, amazing, amazing show. I really do. So there we go there. Had Homicide taking on Christopher Daniels after the intermission. I should also say in the intermission they announced to, and I'm sure watching it live, this came off pretty great, that the World's Greatest Tag Team, Shelton Benjamin, Haas, were going to be wrestling Ring of Honor pretty much full-time, which sounded great. For those of you that don't know, they've already announced one match. It's going to be the Briscoes versus them in Chicago at the next pay-per-view, so that is good. And there's fireworks going off, because I live in Texas, and yes, we shoot off fireworks on Christmas, so for those of you that maybe heard that. Then we had Homicide, Christopher Daniels. Probably the best part of this match was that Julius Smokes came out with Homicide. It was an okay match. Definitely not what we would expect from these two guys, but it was kind of what it was. The finish was not very good, but oh well. Then we had Mark and Jay and Papa Briscoe taking on Chris Hero, Claudio Castagnoli, and Shane Hagadorn. This match, as everyone has said, was just loads and loads and loads of fun. The New York crowd out there pretty much crapped on Papa Briscoe, but he just did his thing and eventually, you know, showed that, you know what, for an attraction, he definitely belonged there and definitely was a better attraction than some of the stuff that TNA and WWE give us. So that was good. He got over with the crowd. The end of the match, he hit a Doomsday Device. It was pretty great. Then we had Roderick Strong and Davey Richards. Probably a lot of people didn't like this match. I didn't like this match as much as some people did, though I still think it was a great match. Probably, you know, a lot of people, and I know, were kind of because Roderick won. I can kind of understand that. I thought the finish was pretty good, but my only real gripe with the match, and it really wouldn't be a gripe if there was a match after it, if there wasn't a match after it, was that they kicked out of everything under the sun. It just was like, I was sitting there thinking, they're kicking out of all this stuff, and then we're going to have to go to El Generico and Kevin Steen, and they're probably going to kick out of even crazier stuff. So it was just, that kind of bothered me a little bit. The last two matches, and I say this as a bad thing, and this whole show, probably because of, a lot of this show felt like a game show, and that it ran very long. There were a lot of false finishes to the point where when we got to El Generico and Kevin Steen, we'd seen so many false finishes that the false finishes didn't mean as much. And well, I have no doubt that watching these matches individually, not on a pay-per-view, people would go gaga for this stuff. Watching them back-to-back just was not as good. So, but then we went to El Generico and Kevin Steen. Their final match, El Generico, if he lost, would be unmasked. Kevin Steen, he lost, would leave Ring of Honor. This was Kevin Steen's last match. Apparently, he was one of the guys that they were going to get rid of due to cost cutting, but they wanted to finish out the feud, so they did. So Kevin Steen is now gone. Was an awesome match, no doubt in my mind. Like I said, the only thing that really bugged me, I wouldn't have bugged me as much if it wasn't for the world title match, was all of the crazy kickouts, but we did get lots of crazy kickouts, which just didn't seem the same because of the match before it. But still an awesome match, a great end to this feud. It was a great ending match to the feud. The pay-per-view itself was booked pretty great, I thought, with the exception of Homicide and Christopher Daniels. The end of that match was and the Colt Cabana TJ Perkins match kind of ended out of nowhere too, and I didn't care for that. But overall, I thought everything else worked really well. I thought it flowed really well, and if you want to see some good wrestling, if you want to see a lot of fun wrestling, if you just want to see a great event, I definitely recommend seeing this on DVD. If you want, you can still see it on Go Fight Live, and after you buy it once, you can watch it as many times as you want. The reason why I was able to, watch it today, whenever, as soon as I had a chance, I watched it today, so that was the reason. And, without a doubt, another ROH review, the little ROH hater trolls will come out, but let me tell you something, they are going to be fed, and they're going to be fed pretty quick, because I am, after reading through, kind of the reviews everyone else did, and watching the reviews, and then reading the comments on what everyone else did, let me put it this way, to all you little haters out there that want to come on our videos and just talk crap, it's time to put up or shut up, literally, for you guys, because it's been a year, and it's been more than a year for a lot of you, so I'm just warning you, it's time for you guys to put up or shut up when it comes to this crap. So anyways, with that, I'm out later.